Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am using my How to Kill a Kit with Style one more time, and I am scrapbooking these two photos from Disneyland. So let's see what I can do. Now I really wanted to go with this kind of tone-on-tone look. So I pulled out two solid sheets of paper and one kind of gingham paper from the paper pad that is in my kit. And I also pulled out a sheet of black cardstock, and that is because I really felt like I needed that pop of black on this layout to give it a little bit of interest. Otherwise, it was going to turn into a very peachy pink layout, and while I think that that is fine, the album that this layout is going in has a lot of pops of black in it. So I didn't want you to be flipping through the album, have a pastel layout, and then all of a sudden go back to the bold colors. Now, normally in my family albums where we have the chronological things that go on in our lives, I don't really mind that. Doesn't bother me whatsoever because there are so many different things in those albums. But this is going to be a separate set of albums for the Disneyland trip for Lana's birthday, and it's important to me to have some sort of cohesion throughout that album. So that's why we're not having a completely pastel page. Now, as you can see, I took those pieces of paper and layered them up onto my black cardstock. And no, I don't mind that I'm using those full sheets of paper and you're only seeing a little bit of them behind them. Now, these pieces of paper are from a project pad, so they are super thin. They don't have the normal weight of cardstock, and the black cardstock that I'm using is also not my usual thickness of cardstock. It is a thinner weight. So the layout is not particularly ridiculously heavy, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, I did use that deeper blush color to matte the photos, so you can see that you can't tell whatsoever while you're looking at the layout though. I do grab these Love from Lizzie kind of wavy strips. Now, these are actually intended for card makers to do finishing edges on cards and such like that. But as you guys know, I get the Love from Lizzie card kit. I've been subscribed to it for about 2 years now, a little over 2 years, I think, and I've never made one single card with that kit. I have continuously used them for scrapbooking layouts because I love the stuff that comes in them, and I love to scrapbook with them. But no, I have made no cards with the kit whatsoever, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, but you know what? It's my pretty paper and I can do what I want with it. So I am going to do something that I seem to be doing an awful lot right now, and that is taking my two photos that are together and overlapping them slightly and giving them just an ever so slight little turn. Now, it's not going to be something where you have to turn your head to look at the photo on the layout. It's just off on a slight angle. And I think that that adds a little bit of visual interest to the page. And I do want to mention those scraps that I cut off where the papers overlapped over top of the black cardstock, they went straight in the bin, you guys. I do not save those scraps. That stresses me out. It is worse for me to save a 1-inch scrap of paper than it would be to just toss it and get it out of my room. I know that that sounds crazy to some of you, where you save every piece of paper that you can and you use it all, and then you're punching out little tiny pieces out of it. And if that's the way you scrapbook, more power to you. I applaud you for it. But the pieces stress me out, and the more I say that, the more I'm finding others that feel that same exact way. So I just want to, I don't know, empower you that if the little pieces stress you out, get rid of them. Just get rid of them. You'll be much happier in your craft room. I am. Now, I am bringing in some black and white with the striped piece of paper. And then you saw the size of that. That's a scrap to me. That large piece is a scrap. The little piece that I cut off for the banner, that's not a scrap. That's trash. So that went into the bin. I did take my polka dotted washi tape and made it go across the banner here. And that's just to go ahead and give my photos a resting point. Now I am going to mess around with the title a little bit. I'm going to call it California Love, just because all of the things on kind of the fish street sign are all California things. So I just wanted to call it California Love. It made sense to me in my head. Hopefully it makes sense to you as well. Now I really didn't pay attention to my spacing, and then as you can see, basically only California fits. No A at the end. And even though plenty of people call California California, you know, California just doesn't ring very nice for the layout. So I scooted over the word love, scooted over the entire word for California. I'm not going to put the little dots on the I. And I think I don't put the dots on the I because most of the time when I am printing, I do not dot my I's. They are just straight little lines. So when I am creating titles, you know, I don't dot my I's, so I don't think usually to dot them on my layouts. Now I felt like I needed to fill in this little space right here. So I grabbed one of the die cuts, and it has some sort of sentiment on it. I don't know what it says. Let's see if I can pull it up. One kind act can turn a gray day into a yay day. I don't say that. I don't say yay day. So, you know what? That's getting covered up. I do like the little black and white line drawing of the leaves, though. So I'm going to leave that there and give it a little bit of a decoration, and it kind of fills in that pink space that just felt awkward to me. So I'm also going to trim up my die cuts. Now this is not something I do a whole bunch anymore. I used to subscribe to a kit club that I was just getting a lot of stuff that I would not have bought my own, would not have bought on my own, I should say. And I used to have to make the die cuts work. And I'm making the die cuts work this time, even though this die cut would have worked great for me. I totally would have used this die cut on another page, but I wanted to do it on this one. Now, I also don't understand why in the world all of these collections have flowers coming out of envelopes. I just don't get it. It's like somebody had the idea, so now everybody's doing it. And I'm kind of over the flowers in the envelopes. So I cut off the envelope. By the way, envelope straight in the bin, not saving it, not going to reuse it. But I do use the florals to tuck underneath of the little tab things I created with the die cuts. So I am going to add some fun to this as well. And I'm doing that with some epoxy flare badges and also the epoxy, I guess, big enamel epoxy dot and a wooden enamel dot. I know that they're really just wood veneer dots, but if I say wooden enamel dot, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So I am going to build up a little bit more over here on that black and white die cut as well, just because I felt like now it just wasn't enough there. I covered up that blank pink space, but I need it more. So I grabbed a sticker and I go ahead and use another epoxy flare badge to cover up that purpley blue part, because I'm okay with the pink and I'm okay with the green, because, you know, it's flowers, so there's greenery in there, and I'm using these green enamel dots, so I'm okay with that. But I really don't want to introduce yet another color, and that dark purpley blue color, no, it is too much for this page, because I've got a whole lot of softness with the pink, and I have the bright pops, and I don't need another bright pop. So I grab basically the same sticker that I did over at the top, and I'm going to cover up that purpley bit with another die cut. The die cut says the best is yet to come. What this layout will be ahead of the layout where we actually ate, because holy Moses, that food was good. So I'm just going to put that down there. I'm thinking about journaling on it, and I'm like, no, you're going to journal about the food. You don't need to journal about like the scenery. So that'll happen. Now I did add on my hidden Mickey, which is something I'm not doing regularly, but once these layouts all get ready to be put into the album, I will make sure that they all have their little hidden Mickey on it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you again real soon for another video.